Hello, 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 and hope you all had a very happy Christmas and will have a happy New Year party, whatever you decide to do. This was a Christmas present. It's Terry here, should have said that at the start, but this is my new project for the channel, so this is going to take some time. I'm going to go through what I plan to do at the moment and some of the decisions I've had to make. I'm not going to unbox this Jeep shell. It's so popular. I got it, as I say, as a Christmas present, and I wanted to fit it on my SCX10ii because I think they look really cool. So I'm not going to unbox it because you'll see everything as this project goes along. So I'll take you through step by step, and hopefully I'll get myself sorted and do some regular bench video updates, because there's going to be a fair amount of work associated with this build. Again, it's another kind of mating a body shell that wasn't necessarily designed for this chassis, and now I'll come on to this. I've had a bit of an issue already, as I've found, you get a body shell and it says, yes, it's a wheelbase matches, this one's a 313, and you can just fit it, but not quite so the case. So this chassis is an SCX10ii chassis, but it's the raw build kit, with the incredibly large gearbox. So I bought this quite some time ago with the view of putting lots of different shells on it, because I had a TRX4 some time ago, which obviously wasn't a 313 wheelbase, so that limited what shells you could have on it. I didn't think about the interiors and what this would mean with this big gearbox. The one that Andrew's got, the original 10.2, the one that's not the raw builders kit, has got a different gearbox in it. This has caused me no end of issues with the shells I've got, because as soon as you get an interior, this one's no different. You do have cut-out spaces. This one's quite good. This kit came from Greens, this shell, so you've got a cut-out for the battery. But you put this on, and what then tends to happen is, as per usual, I think the gearbox is about here, and it's just sitting too high. It's not only the gearbox in this case that's causing the height issues and the body not sitting down, it's also the receiver box here. So you can't tell when you look at a shell, and it's, I'll put that on the 10.2. I think I could be wrong in this, but most of these shells that I've seen running on chassis, they tend to be a 10.2 chassis. Don't know how many of them are the raw builders kit like mine. So I sat there Christmas Day and thought, having just done my D90 build, if you haven't seen that, go and check it out. That's the first time I've kind of built something that I've put a body shell on a kit, on a chassis that wasn't necessarily designed together. They don't go as a complete kit together and it just bolts straight on. That was a lot of faff, and I thought, I cannot be bothered. Then I started thinking about getting the G-Made O2F chassis, which, funnily enough, Steve from RC Crawler Mid Wales has just got. And that has it's all pretty clean, and there's not a big gearbox in the way, and it would look like this shell would potentially fit nicely without too much cutting. So that's £270 with the body shell, and I then almost talked myself into spending the money, which, sitting there thinking that will go, I haven't got the money really, and that will also go towards the next cross kit, wherever that might be in 2022. So I had a word with myself and thought, I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and do some cutting. This is let me push the chassis back, this is quite a thick bit of plastic here. And it sits, the cutting I think needs to be here, which is the back, or kind of what I'd call the transmission tunnel, but the back of the armrest here. But again, it's difficult to see which bit. So it's kind of the ridge of the gearbox is hitting this, but of course this is moulded, the receiver box is moulded, so I'm going to have to deal with that as well. This shell does come with inserts for magnets to be mounted in here, which then you can put magnets on the body posts. So I was thinking, well, when I was having a word with myself about what I'm going to do with this, and because I thought, well, this is made up for my yellow Cherokee shell and my kind of Army killer body Jeep shell, and they fit perfectly, so I didn't really want to mess with it. However, this is a bit of a pain, this receiver box. It's not waterproof anyway because it's got holes in it, so it just fills up with water, so the receiver tends to sit in water anyway. And when I open it, they're really long screws here, and it's a faff getting everything in and out. So what I think I'm going to do is save myself the £270 and cut this off because it's moulded, or you know, cut it down and then smooth it down, and then possibly, because I need this area here flat, or as flat as possible, because the footwells sit at the front, so this footwell would sit here on the receiver box. So I might just be able to get away with putting the receiver here further back, or I might have to put a bit of Lexan across the chassis rails here, and the ESC is here, so I might have to move that back. I'm going to have to mess around with it a little bit. I've got a new motor to go in here because this original cross motor from my MC6 is dying. It's been abused to hell and back, so that's going to need replacing first. So really the next step is going to be some cutting, get rid of this, probably change the motor, and then see about where I need to put the receiver and the ESC, to then cut parts of the, hopefully just cut the centre part of the floor, and then it should sit right. So that'll be the next video that I do. It might not be in a week's time, so Andrew might have something for you, don't know, or we may not have a bench video for a week. So I've learned not to do any putting the body together while you're messing with this and scratching it or whatever. It's going to get mounted so that this sits nicely, and I can look at the bumpers first and see how it's going to work, and you know, offer it up. It has a roof, so I will be putting the roof on. I'm probably going to do it a fancy colour at the moment, or I may change my mind on that, and I may tint the windows a little bit so that you can't see any holes in here. I'd really like a shell that I don't have to cut the floor of it to get it to fit, but hey ho. I could, as an option I suppose, there's a different gearbox. That was me dropping the roof. Clumsy. It's not just Andrew that breaks things, you know, although it may seem that way. I could change the gearbox. I do like an aftermarket gearbox, which is about £150, but that moves all the battery tray in it, and it's more faff and more money. So we're going to get the Dremel out and we're going to start cutting, and I'm going to cut a little bit more carefully this time than I did with the D90, because the D90 cutting I went a bit too far, so I need to be a little bit more careful. There's been some lessons learnt there, and you can follow me along the way with the journey. So we'll take you from the very initial stage all the way through to them painting, prep and everything, so it should be quite exciting. So stay tuned folks, keep with us. Have a great new year, and thank you for all your support and comments. We love you all. Stay safe, have a great time, we'll catch you soon. Bye for now.